Thank you for tuning in to Boss Babe Conversations. My name is Danetta, your host, educator, and owner of Her Body Bar, here to encourage you to tap into your inner boss babe and become the best version of you. This is a space where you will learn how to elevate your business or tap into a new industry. Hear from other women who are killing it, so grab your pen and your notebook and let's get into it. So today we have somebody very special to me, Jessica Olveda.
Olveda.
Oh, see, your girl cannot roll her R's. We've been trying to go over this. I've been known her for like 3 years now, and it's always been Jessica. So here we go. So she is a salon owner. So give us a little bit of your background and how did you get into hairstyling? Actually, I did a little research and I didn't know you used to do nails before. Yes. So let's talk about that. Let's roll it back all the way to the beginning.
So that's actually where it started.
Okay.
When I was in high school, I would do all of my friends' nails for prom, just like special events. I literally, one day, I remember I went to Kmart, I bought the little box, I did my nails, and they were actually really, really good. So whatever, throughout high school, I was doing everyone's nails. And then once it was time to start college, my mom was actually the one that kind of pushed me into it. She told me I should go to beauty school. Mm-hmm. That way when I'm going to college, I can just do nails.
Right.
And then, so I was gonna do just nails, but she pushed me to do cosmetology. That way I could do hair, nails, either one. Have more options basically. And yeah, so she literally pushed me into it and then it went better than I ever expected. It was so crazy, yeah.
So why did you stop doing nails and then make the transition into hair?
Money.
Right. No, right. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, only because with nails, you could only do one person at a time, and nails takes a long time.
Right.
And it's not a big amount. With hair, I figured, so actually,
high dollar.
Yes, and I had assisted a stylist, and I saw the potential.
Yeah.
Once you get an assistant, you're able to do two people at. Well, I was doing two people at once already on my own, but then once you get an assistant, you can do. I don't like to do more than 3 at a time, just because I like to give everyone their time. But yeah, that's what pushed me towards it, because I saw that there was potential to make more money.
Absolutely. No, we all here for the little extra coins.
Yeah, exactly.
So we met, a little background, me and Jessica met when I started my business. I met her at Sola. So as you will see throughout these series and these podcasts, a lot of the women that I'm bringing on are people that I met through my journey. Mm-hmm. And so we met, and she was a vibe. She is a total vibe. So she was the one at the end of the hall that was always having a little party in her little suite. And I was like, hold on, what they doing in there? She's a vibe. She's my type of speed. And so we've been friends ever since. And you'll, last week's episode of the podcast, we had Candace. And that's literally how I met Candace, was through Jessica. So that's how we met. So walk me through a process of when you get a new client, from consultation to style. What does that look like?
Okay, so I'm really big on consultations and very thorough consultation, especially when it's a new client. I like to go over their hair goals. I always ask them to gather pictures. I look at their hair. I briefly consult over the phone, but I thoroughly consult in person once they get there. And so we do all that. Sometimes you don't necessarily get what you want when you're coming in, which is why like I said, the consultation is so important. Yes. So that, always start with that, go over pictures. I like to make sure we're on the same page, because sometimes blonde to me is brown to them.
Right.
And after so many years of being in the industry, I don't, no mishaps. You'll avoid mishaps if you just look at pictures and make sure you both see the same thing. So we always start with that. And then after we have a game plan, we go in, do everything, make sure they're comfortable throughout the service. Afterwards, I do like to put them on a hair care routine, always, because it's going to help maintain their hair, help any hair recovery, just keep it healthy.
Absolutely.
And then also in the end, once I check them out, I do also like to put them on a schedule when to come back.
Yeah, to keep them consistent with their services.
Exactly. Well, sometimes people too like to touch up too often, and then they get damage in their hair. So I have my own routine that I find works best
guiding
for my
them
clients.
along the way. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I love that. I love that. What are some common misconceptions that you know about hair, like hair care, that you see like your clients may come in thinking a certain way, but you're like, no, you have to re-guide them?
I feel like it's hair. I feel like, okay, this is what I tell my clients all the time. Clients come in with pictures and
I want to look just like this.
yes, and that is definitely never the deal. Not every hair type is able to go blonde. Every different hair type is gonna only lift a few levels, or I don't recommend blonde. I just feel like hair is very customized.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Like everything is not for everybody.
Exactly. And then even with hair products, say something works for you, it isn't gonna work for the other gal, you know? So I definitely, again, I like to put my clients on like a routine, a hair routine, hair product routine. I like
absolutely.
to, so that's probably one of the things where not everybody just has their own custom. Even some girls will come in and they want blonde, and I'm like,
no.
do you even comb your hair? Like, let's start with the Brazilian blowout.
Yeah.
You have frizzy hair. And
Right.
Yeah, so like I said, everything is so customized.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What are some new hair trends that you're seeing right now? And of those, what is your favorite? Because you know TikTok be TikToking, and
Yes,
I know you get requests
Okay,
coming in like TikTok. I've seen on TikTok.
Yes, I've been hearing so much about the cowboy copper.
Is that a color? It's a color?
It's a color.
Okay.
Yeah, a cowboy copper, but
I'm trying to dig in that because it's fall, so that's why I'm like, hold on, what is that?
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing right now. But the other thing, of course, is blowouts, like back to the
yeah.
90s, blowouts, layers. I also see a lot of girls, I've been hearing about clean girl aesthetics, so
What is that?
they're like going more natural.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, like clean girl classic, just that. And then I feel like hair extensions is another big
That's
one.
your go-to. That's
And
like what you book the most of, right?
Yes, yeah.
colored, but
It's my
colored.
favorite though,
Yeah.
definitely. Just because I have extensions
Yeah.
and they're life changing. So that's
Right.
definitely like my favorite hair trend at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. How do you deal with difficult clients or difficult requests? Because I know you done got some crazy requests, and we're gonna get into after that. I want to know what is the craziest request that you have got about hair. You're like, girl, no, I can't do it.
I feel like I definitely have had like a client ask me to bleach her hair when it was literally already so
Damaged?
damaged,
Oh, yeah.
and there was absolutely no way I was going to do it. I remember she cried, and I'm like, girl, you will cry even more if I do it.
Hair gonna be out on the
No
floor.
way. Yes, I'm like, absolutely not. Yeah, that's probably been the one that
What do
stands
you mean,
out.
like a really high level of like blonde, or just blonde in general? Like your hair's just not gonna go there, girl.
It was just already really broken, and
yeah.
if I would have put
It
more
would've fell
bleach,
out.
it would have just melted.
Yeah.
Yeah, more.
Yeah.
So that's been, but for the most part, thank God, I'm already so far into my career that I have most of my clientele already.
Yeah.
And I feel like I get clients that already respect me, like
Yeah.
my knowledge. Do you
Yeah.
get what I
Yeah,
mean?
like,
So
what do you
they
think
don't
type
even
thing.
question me.
Right.
Yeah, they come in and they're here, like, I trust you,
Yeah,
whatever
do
you
your thing.
think. And yeah, thank God. But it
You're right.
was hard getting
Starting off, I know it wasn't like that, right?
Yes, no, because you meet just different
Yeah.
people, and not everyone is going to be for you, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So that's that I'm so glad to be
Yeah.
out of that, but I
Right.
feel like just being transparent, like,
Yeah.
no, I can't. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. I think that that's something, like, even with me and my business, that I've learned over the years, like with just growth in your business. And when you start off, like you have a certain type of clientele that you have. And I feel like that with the growth of your business, your clientele is not going to look the same as
No.
from year 1 to year 5.
Yeah.
Like it's totally, mine have changed in 3 years. It's crazy. And I think it's very important, like, to even like to acknowledge that and to recognize, like, okay, this is my clientele now. Even that, and that's really important, I think, like, especially going into like marketing, because you're still going to be trying to market to your old audience and or your old clientele, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
And then that comes into like conversions and stuff. Like we're not going to jump all into the marketing, but that is, it's really bit near to my heart.
No,
y'all know.
yeah, you have to teach me about
Yeah,
that.
we still got to get our little lunches
Yes.
down. But yeah, I think that's like very important to pay attention to that. And not to, because I think that will help avoid, you know, when you get down on yourself, like, oh my gosh, it's like things are not working the same. And it might be just because you're speaking to or still trying to attract that old clientele and it's shifted over the years. Yeah, for sure. Tell me about, because I know you've seen a lot of clients. What is the most memorable experience that you've had with a client, and how did it like impact you or impact your business?
I think like the one thing I can like that happens time and time again is I feel like women definitely come in, say they were cheated on or like going through a divorce, just going mommy makeovers, like they just had a baby and they're not feeling themselves. I feel like they come in and they like want to just feel beautiful, and I mean I could cry now. I love that aspect of it. Like they like sometimes they'll hug me. They just feel so beautiful. Yeah. So that's probably the one thing, and that's why I take it so serious too.
Right.
You know, like if there's something you don't like or you don't feel comfortable, like let me know.
I want you to be happy.
Exactly, I want you to be happy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's probably the most like memorable thing.
I think that's the most rewarding thing about us being in the beauty industry. Is just getting that like feedback. Like I've got those DMs too. Like I think I did a jaw lift once, and the lady literally sent me a DM and was like, "Oh my gosh, I have not been happy with my face, like my jaw in years, and I'm just so happy. Thank you so much." And I'm literally in my bed like, oh my God, because I'm a whole Cancer. So I'm just like, oh my God, this is so touching. Thank you. So it's just like getting that feedback, you know, you get the sense of like you're living in your purpose. Like
I was just gonna say that, like purpose.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like I love that, like that feeling, and that just makes me like, okay, I wanna do more. What else can I do to help women?
Especially being that women are so selfless, like they always pour into everyone else, and it's so nice to, I guess, pour back in.
Right, absolutely. I love that. Yes. What advice would you have for someone that was interested in getting into hairstyling or pursuing a career in this? And what would you have done differently straight out of school?
Okay, so I've been licensed for many, many years. I can't even do the math. I was licensed when I was 19 and I'm now 35. So that's like maybe like 16 years. And back then, the hair industry wasn't as big as it is now.
Right.
So assisting wasn't really a thing. But I went into this like raw dog, you could say. Sorry.
No,
I didn't assist anyone. I literally went in and figured it out on my own. So it was so much trial and error. But I feel like nowadays assisting is a big thing, and I would totally recommend anyone fresh out of beauty school to assist for a minute. Because I feel like you could learn so much from someone. I feel like experience is always the number one thing, like years and years, you know, you do you make all these mistakes and you learn from them. So I feel like assisting, if you assist a hairstylist, you'll see how they run their business, you know, whether it's good or bad. That, and then you just like learn so much. It kind of like you avoid those mistakes. Well, some of them, because I still feel like they're not going to remember everything, and they're still going to have to make those mistakes. But I think that's one of the things that, and then honestly for me, like the one thing that helped me is I hustled. Like I took in those clients like 24, you know, like you have to stay late. You kind of as soon as you build your clientele, exactly, and then once you build your clientele, then you can like set more boundaries. Like, okay, I'm not available at this time, but I feel like in the beginning, if you want to grow, you have to kind of sacrifice for a minute and just get in there and work. And then I feel like, okay, one more thing. And then I also feel like being open-minded. Don't operate out like in your ego. and be super transparent with like clients. Like say when you're starting to take them, like ask them for feedback. Like,
Yeah.
how did that color work out for you? How did and just like be open to it. Like
having thick skin, because some stylists will probably get offended, right? If they get that feedback back.
Yeah. So definitely. But I feel like it only helps you, and then
And then especially if this is going to be a long-lasting client, then that kind of guides you on like, okay, she doesn't like this, or she doesn't like this. Maybe I can have, persuade her to get this type of style because it goes more with what she likes. So that definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think those are my top.
Yeah, okay. What sets your salon apart for other salons in the area?
Okay. Well, you helped me with this which I had originally thought about.
Yeah.
I do feel like you're right. It is the vibe.
It is. It's a vibe. If y'all haven't got, I don't know if she's accepting new clients right now, but this salon is a vibe. And she's always been a vibe. Like everything about her, and it definitely exudes into her business for sure.
Yeah. I do feel like if you come in, you'll get good hair and have a good time.
You definitely have a good time, good conversation.
Yeah,
she got snacks, y'all. My daughter would be rolling up on her every time, like, you got snacks? Let me get this soda, let me get this.
I even have like clients DM me sometimes, and they're like, I don't even need my hair done. I just want to come in and hang out.
Just go sit on the couch and talk to you. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And that speaks volumes about your business. Like, people rolling up, and I'm not even getting the service, but I just want to come hang out with you because it's a vibe in here. So I love that. So if y'all don't know, if y'all need a new hairstylist, your girl right here. So what, I don't know how long you had been in solo when I got there, but what inspired, I know some of the behind the scenes on why, but what inspired you to make that transition from a salon suite to owning your salon, actually?
I feel like so first of all, I did absolutely love the suite life.
Right.
For the time being.
What did you like about it, though? For people that might trying to decide.
So the one thing I liked about the salon suite is you're basically a business owner, but without the overhead.
Right.
And I feel like it also just prepares you to become an actual salon owner.
Absolutely.
Like once you're able to manage that, and like then I feel like you're ready for the next step. So I did enjoy it. It's less stressful.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, but I did definitely outgrow it. My assistants eventually grew. We needed more space. I also just wanted to teach, have more, offer more services, even like being able to host like a pop-up, you know?
Absolutely.
In a salon suite. In the salon suite, I mean, I had 200 square feet. There was no way.
There's no way, right.
Yeah, there was no way. So yeah, it served like definitely its purpose, and there was so much growth there, but it was time to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So just to explore that a little bit more. So the salon suite, you're owning your own. When she says like the overhead, so with most, I don't know, with Sola, this is how it is. You come in, you pay your fee for the month, or you could do weekly, and it includes your insurance. They have like cameras in there, and then you have, we personally had a security card, and then you have 24-hour access to it. So that's the main thing, where you're not worrying about utility. Oh, we had Wi-Fi too. So that was another thing why I stayed there that long. Like once I left and realized like I was paying the same amount for 300 square feet that I'm paying for my 2,000 square feet, but I stayed there because I knew that now when I leave, now I have to pay for utilities. Now I need Wi-Fi. Now I need cameras in here, right? There's a lot more stuff into it. So that's why I stayed for so long. And I also waited to find the space for me. I know in my first of my journey, I was really upset. Remember when I was looking for the one spot and someone outbid me, and I was upset, y'all, because I just knew it was my spot. But it just let me know like that wasn't for you. That wasn't what God had for you, because it just wasn't. And once I found this spot, I was like, oh my gosh, this was so much bigger, around the same price that I was going to pay, and less work. And so that just made it click to me like, okay, sometimes you just have to be still and just wait and let it let yourself be guided to the right location.
I agree.
And so I was so much happier when I got. I was like, oh my God, thank you God that I waited, and I did get outbidded, and I didn't understand it at the time, but now I understand, because when I got here, I'm like, oh, I can come in here and throw some aesthetics, throw some wallpaper up, we do a little bit to the floors, and I'm ready to open. Where the other one, I would have been throwing up walls, tearing down walls. It would have been a long process. So
Yes.
I definitely challenge you, like, don't rush stuff. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Just pray about it and just let yourself be guided to it. And that's my best advice on that.
Absolutely agree.
Well, I know the answer to this, but how do you create a welcoming environment for your clients or employees? Because some people probably want to know, how do you have your setup? So is it the people that are in there with you, are they just renting a booth or a seat, or are they part owners, or they employees? Like, how do you have your setup? Because I know there's different ways, and kind of explore that with some people, because they might be straight out of school and they don't know like what options they have.
Works. Yeah. So mine's booth rental. Okay. And in my booth rental, basically they just pay a monthly fee. And it's kind of like Sola. Well, not even. It's even easier than Sola. Basically, what I include in my booth rental is back bar, which is the shampoos where we rinse. There's Wi-Fi. There is snacks and refreshments for clients. I do provide them with like a tray, just because I'm OCD and I want all the trays to match. What else is included? I can't think of.
That's pretty good.
Actually, and also the booking. We all like use the same booking
site, and then it just kind of goes. Do you use Square still? Or what do you use?
No, I'm actually still with Gloss.
Are you, girl?
I know.
But it's teachers on, so I'm not dissing Gloss. I tried Gloss. It just, for what I like to do, it just didn't do.
No,
but everyone, there's a lot of people use Gloss, so don't.
I feel like Gloss is very aesthetic and easy.
That's why I liked it.
But I feel like, from what I've heard from everyone in this business, is like Square is ideal. Like, it's just more logical. It's I honestly, I'm like, I have it. I just haven't transferred.
It's a lot, especially when you have a lot of clients.
Yes, that's, I've been stalling.
Yeah,
but
me too. I've been looking also into Vagaro.
Okay.
I think they have a lot of functionalities the same as Square, but I've just been using Square for years, so I'm loyal to you, Square. You need to send me an affiliate code. But I've been using it through all my businesses for years, and the transition over the years and like the growth of what they offer for our services, I love. Like, they have a loyalty program now, they have the marketing, and I just like, I don't know if it's changed, because that was like 3 years ago when I tried Gloss, but they didn't have like where you can like insert flyers and stuff like that in like the emails.
You know what, they actually, I must say, Gloss, they've evolved. They're trying, they're
give you another try.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to keep up. They're doing a little better for sure. Yeah.
I know that they were like in the transition, and like, I think when we started, it was probably fairly new, right?
Yeah, and it was like very.
It was very like vague, and there wasn't a lot of stuff you can do with the functionalities, and I didn't like that. I'm like, I need to be able to get to my clients and stuff. But I do, like I said, the aesthetics,
so
on
cute.
point. I love it. Yeah,
so cute.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is some of the biggest challenges you face as a salon owner, and how have you overcame them? I know that, like, even with the transition and stuff, because I know that you had to learn a lot about your business with that transfer.
I feel like, I'm going to be transparent. I feel like coming from being in a salon suite and now going into a salon, probably the hardest thing is working with people now.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have
What do you mean?
Well, working with employees.
Oh, okay, got you. It's a little different,
Yeah, because I didn't really have anyone else to look over. I shouldn't even say look over. I don't know if that's the right word. But just now you're having to manage. Yes, exactly. And I feel like that's probably been the only thing.
Learning curve. Yeah.
It's a little bit of like a lot of mothering.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have to send out texts like, hey, you forgot to do this, or hey, like, you know, it's been a lot. So that's probably
adjusting to it though, because you're not used to it. So it's kind of just learning what works for you, what works for your team. So that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just been a lot of like meetings and like just trying to get. I feel like Also just customer service. Okay, customer service is really important to me.
Right.
So I feel like just like, and the nice thing is that like two of the other people with me were my old assistants, so they have my habits, so
Right.
that's good.
Yeah.
But it's like bringing on different people.
So
where
have you
it's
hired
like,
new people since?
I haven't actually,
Okay.
but I have a couple pending for next
Okay.
for the beginning of the
Oh,
year.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice, nice, nice. I like
yeah,
that. I like
yeah.
that for you.
I know,
Growth,
and I
growth,
and I
growth.
already know them, so I feel like the hiring process that like
smoother
okay,
for you.
keeping the vibe good.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and your customer service. It's like because the thing that I was telling the girls is like you guys represent the salon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there's reviews on Google like.
Us.
Yes, like you have to like it's
Right.
not yeah.
It's not just you, so it's
yes,
you
and I
gotta-
feel like I just take pride, and then
Yeah.
you want someone else to take pride
Right.
the way that you
Yeah.
do, but it isn't necessarily their
Yeah,
business. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm so nervous about. Like I have my sister, so she knows what's up, but I've been so scared. Had
The
lots of people
hiring.
like approach me, but I was like, I don't know. Like I'm big on vibes. I'm so scared.
I'm the
and you know the
same
interview process be like you have your
way.
face in interview, and then you come in here and it's a different thing, and I'm kind of
Yes.
scared.
I'm exactly the same way. So yeah, but I do like that the other two gals that are pending. One of them was also at Sola.
Okay,
So,
nice.
and I've taken her clients while she was on maternity leave, and I
Nice.
like the way she runs.
I
So
love
good.
it.
And then one of the other ones I already worked with. I
Okay, so you
like.
kinda know the vibe.
Yeah, so that's probably been just the hardest part. Like I said,
Yeah,
is keeping
trying
the
to weed out
vibe
people.
and just
Yeah.
That's probably been about it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That and the overhead, but.
So what new projects or upcoming events are you working on? I love the pop-up. If you guys missed her pop-up / grand opening, it was a whole
So
vibe. We
much
had fun in there. She had vendors. She inspired me. I know she
Yes.
inspired, there's a pop-up for Candace coming up in November. So I like the whole pop-up vibe. It's in circulation here in Fresno for sure.
Yes, I love that. I do have I'm planning another pop-up. This one's
Nice.
going to be in December, and it's going to be bubblies and blowouts.
Oh, I like that.
The reason being is because you know how everyone has Christmas dinners in December,
Right.
so we're just gonna like get them ready,
nice.
and then we'll have the champagne car, and I might have a couple of other vendors. That way, if anyone needs like a last minute gift, they'll be in there.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
so that's gonna be
nice.
on a Saturday, like throughout the day. That way, girls can come in, get a blowout, some champagne, and then a gift if they need, and that's the next event. And then I feel like as far as like personal projects, like work related, I have been wanting to start like a shadowing program where like
Ooh, I love
like
that.
yeah like
That's something new. Okay.
yeah like where like new like people fresh out of like Cosmos school can come in and shadow me. And,
Yeah,
like,
and you definitely can set
pick
that up. We're gonna talk. Look, you got my brain going.
Yes.
So you definitely can reach out to like the schools and pitch your program. So that would be something dope. And I think they
Yeah.
need guidance for like people, veterans in the industry for sure.
Yeah.
To kind of give them, because you don't know when you get out. You're like, okay, now
Heck
what?
no. Now
Where I'm gonna
what?
go? What I'm gonna do?
Yeah, sink or swim.
Right.
It's crazy.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
So
that. So let's talk about, because I know that, I don't know if everybody, but I know I've heard from a lot of other people in the beauty industry, like slow season and like recognizing your trends on that. How do you deal with like your slow seasons? Because I know like in different industries, like some people will throw sales. I know I throw sales and stuff like that. Things like that. But how do you tackle like a slow season? It's kind of different because you have something that they got to be on a regimen, or they choose to be on a regimen. So, but how do you deal with like slow seasons, or do you just do self-care?
Me, I cry. No, I feel like during slow seasons, at least for me, I try to do the things that I can't do when I'm so busy. Meaning like catch up on just like work stuff, content, think of like just do all those, get to that to-do list that you're not able to get to when you're busy, that maybe like focus a little more on marketing, just like putting info out there, reminding them like, hello, we're here.
Right. Absolutely. I think that is definitely important, because I know that like some people might get stuck or like want to cry and be upset about it instead of like try to be proactive about it.
Yes.
So I think through slow season for me, like you said, I'll work on like marketing. I usually will use that time to like batch content.
Yes.
I'll look at trends before I start freaking out, because it might just be, if I look back last year, I'm like, oh, I was so this, not to say it's okay, but like not to freak out. Like some people, like if you're new, let's put it like this, if you're new, like into the business industry, like your first year, when you have a slow season, the second year, you're like, my business is failing.
Yes.
I'm gonna shut down.
Even me, like 13 years later, I'm like, oh my God.
Right? What is happening?
Yeah.
We're in a recession, I know it, but God, what's going on?
Yes.
So
And
it's kind of like a reminder yourself, like, calm down, use this time to like refocus and get stuff done that you couldn't get done in like the busy season. What else do I do in my slow season? I definitely will run reports and kind of just see the trend, like I said, content, and just work on new stuff. Like with my slow season, we busted out this podcast. So I was like, okay, I've really been saying for some years that I wanted to do this. I did a little bit last year with the lives. And I was like, okay, let's take it a step up. So now we got the videographer this year. And so, yeah, I definitely encourage you, like, if you're in your slow season, don't let that bring you down. Use that time to get your business in order or work on things that you have been put on the back burner and things like that. Don't just sit there and just like, oh my God.
Even like bring in clients, and like create content. Yeah, I try to do that with the girls too. Another thing of being a business owner is like the girls get super discouraged too. Then I feel like I'm mom, and I have to
bring them up.
I'm like, we're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
like this is the train we know.
Yeah. So like last night we like painted pumpkins.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that's a good like
paint and sip.
Like a group building. Yeah, I like that. That's really good.
Yeah,
for sure. So, I like that for sure. So yeah, I thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on here and being a part of my podcast. And we're gonna be back next week with a new episode.
Yay!
Peace.